again. So tonight I'm going to rebatch some soap, which is making soap out of bits of other soap. You know, when you're using a bar of soap and it gets down to this little sliver and this is all you've got left of the bar, you can throw it away, but if you don't and you keep it, you end up with a collection of these, and you can actually make other bars of soap with it, and it's like getting more soap for free, so I like that. So I'm going to do that and show you how I do that. There's some different ways that you can do it, but this is the method that I found I like the best because it makes the most solid bars of soap. Some rebatched bars will have little bits that are still kind of separate, but they're stuck together, but when you use the soap they can break off and flake off, and I don't like that. You can do this with commercial soap, homemade soap, that melt and pour glycerin soap, anything, any little bits of bar soap that you have, you can melt it all together. First of all, I'm going to grate it up pretty fine so that it melts really well. See how fine that's grating it. I want to get the bits as small as I can and kind of uniform so it melts well. And I'm going to end up with little piles of shavings. Can you see that? Maybe not. Maybe little shavings like this, like cheese. And then I'm going to put it in a little pot and melt it on the stove. So I'm going to grate some more now. Okay, now I have my soap all grated up and sometimes ground up. There will be some soaps that just get really brittle and crunchy, and bits also break off while you're grating it. So for both of those things, grinding it up in a mortar and pestle like I did, for some of those works really well. Some soap is easier to grate and some is easier to grind up. So now that it's all in here, pretty uniform, it's ready to melt. So I'm going to heat it up on the stove. I'm going to add some hot water to start the melting process, keep it from burning, and just add some liquid. I'm going to want the soap to melt completely and keep it from, I don't want it to turn into just one giant slightly melted ball at once, because I want it to get as melted as possible. So to do that, I'm going to add some liquid from time to time to keep it liquid, get it to boil. This boiling will do two things. It'll make it melt more, and it'll also help kill germs. It's already kind of turning into a ball here. And I'm going to keep adding a little bit of water, keep stirring it until it gets as melted as it looks like I want it. Okay, now I've got my melted soap. It's forming itself into a ball here. I'm going to use this glass jar lined with wax paper as a mold because I need something that can take some heat because the soap is pretty warm. So it all comes out into a ball like this, and it actually leaves the pan pretty clean, like this, which makes cleanup easy. So now I'm going to pat it down into the mold, try to get it as squished down as possible, tucked into all the corners, and I'm going to try to make the top as smooth as possible also. I want it to make a fairly nice bar of soap, even though it's not going to be as fancy as a new one. Lovely. It's obviously this color because of the particular kinds of soap that I used in it. I could add more stuff to it while melting it, like more essential oils, more cinnamon or cloves, but I never think of that when I'm rebatching. Now I can lift it out, and it's hot, but it's not too hot to handle, and I can smooth it out a little more this way. It's still squishable. This is the nice thickness for a bar of soap, and this size square, it could make 4 little ones or 2 big bars. So that's how you make soap out of leftover bits of other soap. Hope you enjoyed.